part 2 of our Evangelizing in Hamilton video. I wanted to come back to you guys and tell you guys what I felt about going out in the streets of Hamilton for my first time and evangelizing, and some of the things that surprised me that I didn't know would be a surprise to me. First of all, my expectations were that we were going to really run into a lot of people who already knew Jesus, or maybe some people who thought that they were Christians and they weren't, or maybe a couple people who didn't really want to talk about the gospel, but not too many. I mean, I don't see the gospel as a scary thing to talk about. I know not everybody wants to be Christians, but there are nice ways that you can say that you don't want to hear about it or anything like that. And so those are the main things that I thought I'd run into. However, it was completely opposite. Actually, we went to downtown Hamilton, which usually I see people walking up and down the streets, but it doesn't seem like a terrible, scary place to walk downtown. And so I wanted to take the girls with us just because I also want them to kind of see their parents evangelizing and spreading the gospel, and we really want to set that example for our kids. So, wanted to take them downtown, walk, maybe see some of the stores, everything like that. Well, first couple that we ran into was a woman, and you could tell that she was on some type of substances, was scratching her body. She wasn't mean, violent, anything like that, but that's, kind of, honestly, to be honest, that's not the first thing I expected to see. I won't say that I want to keep my kids away from that. It's just not something that I was expecting to see. And so that wasn't terrible. I mean, she was scratching, so I didn't know what she had. So in that sense, wanted to kind of like not want to get them up close and personal, but I didn't mind that. I think the second person who we ran into, which I think was her boyfriend, significant other, he was just really ugly. Like, his attitude, everything. We tried to speak to him. He was really hostile, said the N-word a lot, and the N-word with the ER attached, so probably as derogatory as you can get. That's what he was saying, cursing a lot, just saying a lot of violent things. And so we immediately walked away, started talking to another couple who we actually got to talk to for a little bit. But as we were talking to them, we were down the block, so we were a safe space away. Don't want to put my girls in danger or anything like that. But we were a safe space away. And he was still like really just yelling some nasty things, just violent things, all these threats. Go ahead and call the cops on me if you want to, N-word this, N-word that, what I'm gonna do to you, faggot this, faggot that, like some really mean stuff. Just something I didn't expect to immediately encounter. And you could tell that he was also on another substance, but man, like it was the uglier side of things. And so that was another big surprise to me. And then going down the street a little bit, we ran into another person who was laying on the curb, and we got to talk to him a little bit. And then eventually he was like, back in the day I was a redneck and I would have knocked you out, but now Jesus has changed me. I'm trying. And I'm like, man, like there's a lot of hate that we seem to be running into today. And that's not to say that Hamilton is a racist community. We haven't been here long enough to really put a label on Hamilton to say like it's this or that or whichever. At the end of the day, racism exists everywhere, whether that's Hamilton, Westchester, Fairfield, Avondale, wherever. It just looks different in different communities, and I just didn't expect to run into it the way that we did. And definitely would have kept the girls with their grandparents or home or something like that. Not because I don't want them to see evangelism, but that extreme of it, to run into people who are so hateful, you know, that's not something that they're ready for at their age. So that definitely threw me for a loop. And then we went down Front Street, and we didn't run into any more of the hateful talk conversation. That's more of the black side of Hamilton. A lot more African Americans in those neighborhoods. Didn't run into any more of that. A lot of people outside playing the music. Couple parties going on, but really I think the biggest thing that threw me off was definitely the racism that I encountered, that I was surprised to encounter. And then also there were a lot of people who I kind of felt like I was selling, like, or trying to solicit, um, like, or take their money or something like that, like something that was like, man, sending people running in the opposite direction. And I'm like, man, like, I just want to give you guys the gospel. I just want to tell you about Jesus, like, talk about Jesus, because that's what I thought we were going to be doing, was talking about Jesus. But everybody's just like, nope, I'm good. And I'm like, man, like I said, this was my first time out there evangelizing, so that's another thing that I just did not expect, was so many no's. But hopefully down the future we get to have more conversations, in-depth conversations with people. This first time was really to just fill out the neighborhood, see what it looked like, see what areas we wanted to try to focus on and reach that community. And so it wasn't any real, like, set goals. We just wanted to get out there, evangelize, see what it was like. And it was my first time, so I think definitely taking away from this and from going out in the streets of Hamilton, I definitely want to go out again. I think next time I definitely will leave the girls at home. If we do go back into, like, the downtown area, I think I need to get a better feel of some of the neighborhoods around here. And then also just knowing that you're gonna run into a lot more no's than yes. And so I think that's just something, like, gotta be prepared to hear people say they don't want to hear about Jesus, but we just have to keep on keeping on and just keep on spreading the good news and praying for these individuals and praying that God will capture their hearts. And so those are some of my thoughts I wanted to share with you with my first time evangelizing in Hamilton. I hear one of my kids coming. I'm hiding in the office right now. So, do you guys hear that? She's coming. Okay, gotta go. I will have Ben come for part 3 of how he felt about it, some of his goals, thoughts, views on evangelizing in Hamilton. Love you guys.